My mother said to me yesterday, she said, Sarah, it's going to be colder tomorrow. The temperature is going to drop. And I was like, Mother, you don't know anything. The temperature is not going to drop. It's already cold. I should have listened because it is blooming cold today.
Yeah, mothers always know best.
Usually she doesn't.
Sometimes they know best. Anyway,
Hi. Welcome to Q&A.
welcome to our Q&A.
With very little cues.
Really?
I've got 4.
4? That's okay.
You guys have really let us down this week.
Don't worry about that. It's this time of year where nobody's thinking about ponds at all, or swimming pools, or swimming, or doing anything at all, to be honest. Hibernating. Maybe do a hibernating channel. Anyway,
I could do that all year round.
we could do that. Anyway, normally, I've noticed, actually, I've just been looking at films on YouTube, and normally at the beginning, they have a roundup of what's about to feature. But at the moment, I don't know what's about to feature in this. So I'm thinking that at this point, I could edit in the highlights of our chat. In this episode, we discuss an organic pool's place in the water cycle, how pH is increased with concrete, and also, Daniel Craig, stuntman, wants an organic pool.
We've just discovered that he's actually been in pretty much all my favourite movies.
There we go. That was amazing, wasn't it? I've got no idea. So you know more than me at the moment.
Yeah, I do.
Well, no, I mean, just totally in general. Anyway,
Can I just say, though, I was reading through the videos yesterday. You guys are so nice. It's actually really nice how nice you all are. It's actually really, really sweet. YOLO from Grant in Southern Africa. Would you believe I made an organic pond with plastic pallets, cement and pond bitumen paint in an old pool? Gave it plenty of time to dry, and Bob's your monkeys aren't, it worked. I thought the saying
what a
was,
good expression.
I thought the saying was Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt.
Really?
Is that not what people say? Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt?
Bob's your uncle. That's about it.
My mum always says Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. And he's just said, Bob's your monkey's aunt. Bob's your monkey's aunt.
We need to have a chat with your mum.
Thanks, David, for all the masterful yet somewhat comically hilarious videos. Somewhat.
Yeah. Oh,
Blooming treasure trove and sweet Saharania. You rock, dude. I just put that one in there because I thought, do you know what? That is such a nice message.
That is such a nice message. Yeah, well done for being inventive and using those materials to restore an old pool. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Right. So, aquaponics revolution.
Oh, right, yeah.
Hi, David and Sarah. I bought your fabulous guide, which is Bible. Thank you so much.
Oh.
I see that you fill the sandbags with a concrete mix and use concrete in other parts of the pond, fixing the overflow.
Yeah.
Are you able to confirm if it affects the pH in the long term? I haven't seen you doing pH tests in your video or book. Is it something you monitor? Thanks, Jonathan.
That is a very good question. It's something I don't monitor regularly. I have got a pH meter, but yes, the pH went through the roof initially with all those concrete bags, sandbags. But over time, so it was very high. It was really ridiculously too high, and that's because of the calcium hydroxide basically gets released from the concrete into the water. It makes it very alkali, and it's But if you keep on filling with rainwater, that will eventually be neutralized. Now, because rainwater's got slightly acidic because of carbon dioxide, dissolved carbon dioxide. So it all turns around in the end, and oddly enough, so that the pH comes right down, and I think the last time I measured it, it was like 7.2 or something. I don't know, but it was around the 6 to 7 mark. Good question. I would actually avoid using sandbags now, partly because of that, but also because I can't even speak today. I've been in a pond, which is actually a good thing, but so I'm still warming up. My lips aren't quite going. So sandbags, I wouldn't actually use. Well, sandbags. No, sandbags are really good, and I'm sort of, in some respects.
We don't
in
use
that they're
sandbags anymore. They're all right. They've got a place, but we've evolved.
I don't know. No,
So
see,
if your pond's got
but
sandbags-
I'm contradicting myself. You see, because timber is so expensive nowadays. Sandbags are becoming more attractive. Sandbags with cement are becoming more attractive again.
So we're pro sandbags now?
It depends. I would, if you have the option, I would go for timber because it's easier. But sandbags, if you can't afford that, and then you just live with the higher pH for a while, it may take some time. But if it's constantly filled with rainwater, then you will find that the pH will drop, and the biology will sort itself out.
I've actually done it before. I used to do pH tests every day on myself.
No, right?
Yeah.
How'd you do that?
I did this diet where you only eat alkaline.
No way.
No, seriously, and my pH had to be a steady 8+.
Well, your blood deals with that. You can't control it.
Yeah, I
with...
know. I got hyped in because someone told me if I did it, my pineal gland would pop open and I'd transcend. It was when I was a bit of a hippie.
All right, yeah.
And
You don't want to transcend your pineal gland.
Me and my ex-partner, they said you need to decalcify your pineal gland.
Oh, goodness.
So we only ate alkaline for a couple of months, and we used to pH test in the morning, at lunchtime, and then in the evening. And we used to track it, and we would see what would cause alkaline and what would. Oh, I think there's something leaking in your bag.
Oh.
You're welcome. I think.
What is that?
Oh,
milk.
no.
Oh, it's a bottle of whiskey or something. Oh well. Anyway, you've saved the day,
It's
Sarah.
a washable bag, thankfully.
Well,
Yeah.
yes. Thanks very much.
You're all right. Have
No
a nice
point
day.
in crying over spilt milk.
No.
Too late.
Too late. Yeah. I'll have to stop doing these dreadful jokes. They're just not.
Yeah, that was really uncomfortable.
That was
for
really
me.
uncomfortable. Yeah.
Look at the rain and the sun. How
No, it's
beautiful does it look? Oh,
It
I
looks
love
very
it.
beautiful.
We're going to get a rainbow. But yeah,
Yeah.
Jonathan Martinetto 2344. Thank you
Hi,
so much,
2344.
both of you. I just love you.
Oh.
What
That's
you are doing is
beautiful.
100% better than classic swimming pools full of chlorine.
Oh, that is nice. Yeah. Thank
But do
you.
you believe it is still eco-friendly to build swimming ponds while water is becoming so rare? Wouldn't it increase evaporation and limit the water going back to the aquifer?
That is actually a brilliant question. It's a question that is quite often asked. The answer is no. It really helps the environment. If you think about it this way, normally the rain just falls on the ground and it soaks into the ground and can be there for tens to thousands of years before it makes its way to the river and discharge into the sea. Now, when we have a house or a roof or a paved area, all of a sudden that roof water is being diverted down into some drainage system and then short-circuited straight into the rivers or the sea, and consequently the sea. So that rain never gets a chance to fall back into the ground and restore aquifers. So having an organic pool means the best water to fill it with is rainwater. So you get the rainwater coming down, you collect it and divert it into a pond. And then when the pond is full, when the organic pool is full, it will overspill into the ground beneath. And so it ends up back in the ground or wherever you discharge the water to. It's best if you allow it to soak back into the ground. The other good thing is that when you get a downpour, like it's raining now, when you get a downpour, if it hits a roof, it goes very quickly down the drain, back into the river and the seas, and it can quite easily overwhelm the drainage system. So that causes a lot of environmental problems. The rivers start overflowing, you get floods, and so that is not good. But if the water is diverted into a pond, and especially if you allow the water level to vary in a pond, then it can take those peaks and in water level, in water flow, it could take those peaks and basically ameliorate it. So and then let it slowly settle, back into the ground.
Yours is going up and down all the time, isn't it?
It is going up and down all the time. Yeah. So it's actually, it's smoothing out the peaks in there, so that then it helps the water system or the drainage system not get overwhelmed by excessive.
It's not like a
downpours.
conventional pool where you're filling it up by the tap and you're
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of, like it's all recycled.
No, that's completely right. Yeah.
You know,
If
I
you
think
filled it with tap
yeah.
water, that would.
It
That's
defeats the purpose of having an
completely,
organic pool.
completely. Yeah. Or one of the main purposes is, to help preserve water or let it go back into the landscape. You're right. The water will evaporate from the pool, but it's. The advantages, you're basically making a pond for wildlife, and water is going to evaporate from ponds.
It's a giant bird bath.
It is a massive giant bird bath, yeah, think of it that way.
If there's a drought and stuff and you've got an organic pond, you're
Oh, well,
more
that's the other
right.
thing. That's the other
Because your
thing
water
is,
table will just go down now.
well, during a drought, the water level, the water level in the pond is
just-
lower
yeah,
anyway, so you're not
yeah.
going to get any going into the, soaking away into the ground. But what
Yeah.
it does mean, you've got a reservoir of water, and you can use that to water plants or whatever. Also, I had a fire around a pond years and years ago, and the 2 fire engines turned up. I had a fire because friends of mine had set fire to my sauna, which I still haven't got, and I'm not at all bitter about. To be honest, I'm a bit fed up about it. But my 14-year-old son, he did come up with a positive. He was making a film, and he filmed the fire, and he said, you know what, amazing production values.
Oh yeah, I forgot that story.
Anyway,
You owe him a sauna.
yeah, the firemen were very excited because they could use their, they'd never used their pump that would pump water out of the pond to put out a fire, so they were very excited about that. So it was worthwhile in the end. Yeah, so
I mean, you don't have a sauna,
so
though,
a pond
do you?
has got a pond or an organic pool has got many other advantages other than the main one, which is swimming
Yeah, it's full of advantages.
and being good for wildlife.
This is our last question. I thought this would be quite
Mm.
cool, actually. This is from, I think this was actually a message, I think, Sherbano Saeed. I hope I said that right. I'm sorry if I did not.
Hiya,
Hi,
Sherbano.
I'm from Pakistan and really like your... What is it with old people? And they accelerate so hard when they've got their foot on the clutch and they're like...
I don't know.
Is that an ageist thing? Do you
might
do
be some
that?
sort of disorder. Yes.
All right, anyway.
What were
Sorry,
we talking
Saeed. Sorry, Saeed.
Saeed,
I'm halfway
yeah.
through your question. You're from Pakistan. I was wondering if you could talk more about how to build a natural swimming pool in hot climates like Karachi, which is freaking hot.
Is that what he said?
No, I just know that it's hot because I've got friends in Karachi, actually.
Oh, really?
It's quite fun. Also, which is the most eco-friendly liner for a pool? I'm concerned about using concrete or plastic. What would you advise? Thank you very much. The first part.
The first
Hot climate.
hot climate. Basically, keep everything deep. So deep swimming zone. 2.5 meters or more would be best.
Because it will
Or better.
evaporate.
Inertia, thermal inertia. Basically,
so
you
I
don't
was
want the
wrong.
temperature.
It won't
Well, it will
evaporate.
evaporate if you have something that's really big and shallow. No, that's a good point. It does evaporate more if you
But
have
if
something
it's
that's
deep-
shallow. Yeah.
When you say inertia, do you mean because it's bigger, it will stay colder?
Yes, that's right.
Like
yeah.
deeper, it will stay colder
Yeah.
because there's more of a depth.
The change in temperature will be less.
Right.
And you will get the colder water settling to the bottom, and it's
Right.
so you get the very warm water at the top, and if the water is allowed to stratify, you don't mix it up. You'll get cooler water down at the bottom, and that's really good for ecology and for
Right.
organisms in the water to migrate vertically to get the temperature that suits them, and they'll be up and down chasing algae and whatever. It's deeper. There's less chance of stirring up stuff from the bottom. But the main thing is it helps keep the temperature below 30 degrees centigrade. You want to keep the temperature way below that.
Another thing you should do is have shade.
Yeah, shade is really good. Also, to reduce evaporation, actually, you can put a sort of fence around because it's wind speed that goes over it. Also, you want to increase the depth of the regeneration zone as well. So have...
They're Dutch.
They're
Do you know
Dutch?
how I know that? Because I can speak Dutch.
Can you?
Ja.
Come on, say something.
Ik moet slapen, ik ben zo moe.
I beg your
Ik
pardon.
moet eten mijn avondeten. Lekker naaien. And if you see someone attractive, you say lekker ding.
Lekker ding.
So, eco-friendly liner for a pool.
Oh, eco-friendly line. Now, this is always a tricky thing to answer. It's almost, there is no eco-friendly commercial liner, eco-friendly product you should aim for, other than clay. Right, so puddle clay, if it's available locally. If you've got to start importing clay to line a pool, then the credentials, drop off, the transport costs, the fuel involved. So it's normally a bitter pill to swallow to buy a big piece of plastic to use as a liner, but ultimately the benefits, you are creating a wildlife pool and a pool for yourself. But the liner material itself is really high in embodied energy and is not great environmentally in terms of energy. Concrete is far less, but you use far more concrete to seal it than you would do a liner. That's probably the
My
cheapest.
ADHD is kicking in right about now.
All right. All right. Do you need treatment or something?
Need my injections.
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
Yeah, bored, in other words.
I'm bored.
Ugh.
I'm sorry, the way I like to think of it is if I'm bored, they're bored.
Yeah,
I'm
I
the
can
lowest-
see that. You're like the canary in the cave. Mine.
Is that one of those Plato?
If you're dropping off, no, they
metaphors?
they used to take canaries down, and if there was gas,
Oh,
the
yeah,
canary
yeah,
would
yeah,
die
yeah,
in the cage, and the miners would know to get out.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was good, it was informative, but yeah,
Went on a bit, didn't it?
it did.
Oh, okay,
I started
canaries.
twitching my body, I was starting to get a bit fidgety now.
Nodding off. Yeah.
You
Oh, dear.
know? All right, we do have one last thing to announce.
Oh, go on then. What?
David, guys, has listened to your multiple
yes.
requests of asking for a workshop date that is far in the future, and so we've actually got one on the
have got
website
one, yeah.
now that you can book for the 23rd of March, which is a Thursday. So I want to see it
23rd
fully
of March,
booked up.
2023.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we want to see that booked up because you guys have been asking. Okay, you wanted ample time to get that as holiday. I will more than likely be there too, so if you're just coming purely to see me, I'll be
Yes.
there.
Yeah, she's the best bit.
I'll
Oh,
be
actually,
there.
we had a course last week.
Yeah, and we got to say, Adam Kirley Stunts
Well,
is the shit.
He
He is cool.
Yeah, great. You know what? It was odd because we had a course, whenever it was, a month or so ago, maybe a bit longer, wasn't it?
Longer.
12, 13, 14 people on it. And then the one last week, we had one person turn
The
up.
best one person.
Well, my
I'll tell you
goodness,
that
he
now.
made up for it. He was like so cool. He was. Can you believe this? He was the stuntman for Daniel Craig. Been a privilege to have on my course today only one person, and that's Adam. But he's a very distinguished character. Oh yeah, sorry, and Sarah. Yes. Sarah's been helping as well. But he's a stuntman, and he's worked with all the great names in Hollywood. So first, Adam, what is your favourite film of mine on YouTube?
Oh, it's got to be the gravel one.
The one about gravel.
Love the
Yeah,
gravel.
That's a
That's a
classic.
classic.
He's the one that rolled the car.
And not just one James Bond movie, 3 of them.
Yeah. And he knew.
And the best one, Casino Royale. And he knew everyone that I said, he'd either worked with them or had the opportunity. Like Charlize Theron, guys. Matthew McConaughey. Samuel Jackson.
Hello, folks. Today we're here with Daniel Craig's
Very old stuntman. Many moons ago.
many moons ago. We've just discovered that he's actually been in pretty much all my favourite movies.
Trying to get that.
Did you meet
right.
Rachel then?
Rachel.
His wife.
Rachel Weisz.
She was in The Mummy, no?
She was in The Mummy Returns, yes. I worked
So
with
you
her on
did
that.
The Mummy,
Yeah. Brendan Fraser back in the day when he was a handsome man.
I'm going to cut him up right there and say Brendan Fraser is still a handsome man and has been poorly treated by Hollywood.
Yeah.
And now he's back.
He's had a resurgence. that's
Now
for
he's
sure.
back in The Whale, which
Yeah.
I'm very excited to watch.
What about how to build a natural swimming pool?
No,
Surely.
we don't care. He's
No.
worked with Charlize Theron.
I tell you what, I didn't even know what those words meant.
Yeah, Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill.
Can you put in a word for me?
Jonah Hill, yeah, sure.
Samuel Jackson.
I have done, yeah, Samuel L. Jackson, yes.
In
we
what?
Did, Kingsman. He played the villain in that.
No, I didn't like the Kingsman.
No, I did Kingsman 1 and 2, so that's a bit awkward.
Can I say something? Is it Matthew Vaughn who directed that, didn't he?
Yeah.
His assistant rang me up and asked would I supply chemicals, organic chemicals to their pool.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you?
Well, at that point I went, oh my God, and it was actually I'd just seen a water vole go across the pond. I wasn't actually reacting to the incredible news of Matthew Vaughn getting in contact. But anyway, I said, no, sorry, I don't sell any chemicals. It's not a very interesting story, I know.
You just interrupted a really good flow.
I did,
of a
yeah.
Very uninteresting story.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to us.
This has been a long one, we're sorry.
Hopefully some of this information has been useful, and if not, we apologise.
Too bad.
Right, okay. So see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye for now. Swim, John.